The contract, management can only fire a driver on very specific charges. So, you ever show up late?
No.
Do you have any moving violations?
No.
Do you drink on the job?
No.
You ever hit anybody?
On a job?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right, then. We don't have nothing to worry about.
Hi, and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a top 10 list of the best movies. I excluded the most typical that appear in many tops. It'll be tough, but let's get started. Number 10. Lady Bird. Christine McPherson is the high school senior from the wrong side of the tracks. She wants adventure, sophisticated environments, and the chance of adventure, but not in her Sacramento Catholic high school. The film is based on the events surrounding the main character's senior year in high school, including her first romantic relationship, her participation in the school play, and her admission to college. Lady Bird has a 7.4 rating in IMDb and a 79% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
You should just go to City College. You know, with your work ethic, just go to City College and then to jail, and then back to City College, and then maybe you'd learn to pull yourself up and not expect everybody to do everything.
Number 9. Marriage Story. American soldier Captain Willard is sent by Colonel Lucas and a general up by the Nung River on a mission that officially doesn't exist, nor will it ever exist. The Army thinks that Captain Kurtz has gone completely crazy, and Willard's mission is to kill him. Willard is sent down the Nung River by a U.S. A naval patrol boat, searching for its star baseball player, meets with Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore, the head of a helicopter rally group, which destroys a Viet Cong outpost to permit a bridge to cross the Nung River. Willard, Lance, and Chef make it to Redbeard's base, beyond the Do Lung Bridge. Now, after becoming captive of Kurtz, will they be able to fulfill their mission? Marriage Story has a 7.9 rating in IMDb and a 85% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
What I love about Nicole, she is a mother who plays, really plays.
What I love about Charlie, he loves being a dad. He loves all the things you're supposed to hate, like...
Number 8. The Irishman. Frank Sheeran is a man with a lot on his mind. The former labor union high official and hitman served to the ends of Italy during World War II. Now he watches back on his efforts in his crime activity, maintaining connections with crime family Bufalino. In particular, the part he claims to have played in the disappearance of his lifelong friend Jimmy Hoffa, the former president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, who mysteriously vanished in late July 1975 at the age of 62. The Irishman has a 7.8 rating in IMDb and a 86% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm here to defend you, right?
Right. What do you want to know? You want to know if I did it or not?
Number 7. Zero Dark 30. Maya is a CIA agent whose first experience is in the interrogation of detainees in the aftermath of the 11 September 2001 terrorist attacks on the U.S. She is an unwavering member of groups that have been put under extreme duress, but she recognizes the value of this technique when determining the truth. For the past few years, she's been dedicated to discovering the location of Osama bin Laden's whereabouts. In 2011, it seems as though her work will pay off, and a Navy SEAL team is deployed to hunt down bin Laden. It is difficult to tell whether bin Laden is concentrating on his work or dead, but her is the one that is optimistic. Zero Dark 30 has a 7.4 rating in IMDb and a 80% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm not your friend. I'm not gonna help you. I'm gonna break you.
Number 6. The Hurt Locker. A dynamic portrayal of elite soldiers who face one of the most dangerous professions in the world by disarming bombs in battle. When a new Sergeant James takes over a highly trained bomb disposal team amidst violent conflict, he surprises his two subordinates, Sanborn and Eldridge, by recklessly plunging them into a deadly game of urban combat, behaving as if he's indifferent to death. As the men struggle to control their wild new leader, the city explodes into chaos, and James' true character reveals itself in a way that will change each man forever. The Hurt Locker has a 7.5 rating in IMDb and a 84% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
So what do you got?
The car has been parked illegally. The suspension is sagging. There's definitely something heavy in the trunk.
Number 5. Dunkirk, May-June 1940. 400,000 British and French soldiers are holed up in the French port town of Dunkirk. When a new Sergeant, James, takes charge of a highly trained bomb disposal team in the midst of violent conflict, he surprises two of his subordinates, Sanborn and Eldridge, by recklessly diving into a game of urban warfare, behaving as if he is indifferent to death. This is the story viewed through the eyes of a soldier, two Royal Air Force fighter pilots, and a group of civilians on board their ship, part of the evacuation fleet. Dunkirk has a 7.8 rating in IMDb and an 81% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
There are 400,000 men on this beach.
Number 4. The Social Network. On a fall night in 2003, Harvard undergraduate and computer programming genius Mark Zuckerberg sits down at his computer and furiously begins working on a new concept. In a frenzy of blogging and programming, what begins in his dorm room soon becomes a global social network and a revolution in communication. Zuckerberg, who entered his life in 2010, was only 6 years and 500 million Facebook acquaintances later when he was the youngest billionaire in the history of humanity. However, despite his success, his personal and legal troubles have tended to be of the type that cause only grief. The Social Network has a 7.8 rating in IMDb and 87% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
When you go to Google and type in climate change is, you're going to see different results depending on where you live and the particular things that Google knows about your interests.
Number 3. Taxi driver. Travis Bickle is a former Marine and Vietnam War veteran currently living in New York City. Having trouble falling asleep, he spends his nights driving as a taxi driver, screening movies in seedy theaters by day, or ruminating on how New York City has degraded. He's a loner with certain opinions about what is right and wrong with the world, and for him, the one individual in New York society is a woman named Betsy, who works on the presidential campaign of Senator Charles Palantine. He is obsessed with her. He feels as if he has to handle all problems, whether big or small. After an insult from his colleague, he thinks that helping a young girl who has run away to secure a better life is one of his priorities. Taxi Driver has a 8.2 rating in IMDb and a 93% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, people do anything in front of a taxi driver. I mean anything. People too cheap to rent a hotel room.
Oh, driver, hurry up, will you?
People want to embarrass you.
Number 2. Apocalypse Now. The height of the Vietnam War meant that U.S. Army Colonel Walt Kurtz was sent by a general and a colonel to carry out a mission that simply did not exist. Nor will it ever exist. The Army believes Kurtz has gone completely insane and Willard's job is to get rid of him. Willard, sent up the Hudson River on a naval patrol boat, finds that his target is among the most decorated officers in the U.S. Army. Kilgore, a lieutenant colonel in the Army's Helicopter Cavalry Regiment, scouts a Viet Cong outpost to provide a path through the Nung River back to the U.S. encampment. Their mission seems unclear not too long after they encounter Colonel Kurtz at Du Long Bridge. Will that situation be turned around, or are Willard and the others now under control of Kurtz? Apocalypse Now has a 8.5 rating in IMDb and a 94% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
We'll put on the music. It scares the hell out of the Stokes. My boys love it.
Number 1. Saving Private Ryan. Opening up with the Allied invasion of Normandy on 6 June 1944, members of the 2nd Ranger Battalion under KPT Miller fight ashore to secure a foothold. Amid the fight, 2 brothers go Kia. Earlier in New Guinea, a 3rd brother goes Kia. Mrs. Ryan, mother of the deceased, is to be given all 3 of the telegrams on the same day. The Chief of Staff of the United States Army, George C. Marshall, is given an opportunity to help his mother, who is suffering from heartbreak, to discover and bring back the 5th brother of the family to him. Saving Private Ryan has a 8.6 rating in IMDb and a 95% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you liked it.